Hey guys, welcome back to the channel here. So as you can see, we have my Silver 95 up on the lift here, and I was having some issues with the fuel gauge bouncing all over the place. Most of the time it would just stay at full, and every once in a while it would go all the way down to empty, and then sometimes it would go down to half, but it mostly stayed at full, which was moderately annoying. Thankfully, I knew about how many miles I could get out of the tank before it was empty, and got it pretty well empty, and we pulled it out today. I wanted to show you what I ran into. Now, I had actually fixed a fuel sending unit this morning that was out of the Arizona truck, that if you haven't seen that video, there's a couple videos on it, either up or upcoming, and it had the same issue. So basically, this is your sending unit for a diesel truck here. This will be the same across the board for a gas as far as this sender is concerned. Obviously, front or rear are different. However, you have a couple pieces here. Now, basically what this does is it reads resistance as it goes through the range here. And I actually had replaced this sender a few years back. This is a Ford unit that I had put on it because I was dealing with the same thing. It wasn't working. It would go wide full all the time, or it'd stay at full and then they would bounce around a little bit and come down to its normal and then kind of hang out to where it needed to be till it was empty, till I filled it up again. But I pulled it out today because it was just staying full all the time. I'm like, okay, well, something's wrong. Now, let me grab some pieces for you. So we have pieces and parts of the fuel sending unit here. On a gas truck, you would have a backing plate like this. So that's part of the diesel's sending unit assembly here. It's actually welded to the tube. So you have to actually cut it off of the plate when you buy a new sending unit. So when you buy a new sending unit from Ford, it comes with this plate here. All right. And then this is actually attached on here like this. And you'll have to cut the heat tab off on the backing plate and then unclip it. So this one would... This one's kind of funky looking here because it's a different one, so it should be flipped around. But this one here, the inside has a board, and this board is what gives you your resistance. Now, as your float arm moves up and down, it actually rotates this little piece here, and this little piece inside is in there like so. So as it goes full or empty, it will change the resistance through the contact here on this little piece of plastic. Now this is twice. So I fixed the one this morning, and I just fixed this one now, where this little metal contact actually came off of this plastic little rotation piece. This little piece here, it's just heat tabbed together with this piece of brass. So I ended up using some 5-minute epoxy, and I'm hoping that the fuel doesn't dissolve it over time. If it does, we'll just have to pull it back out and fix it again, a different way this time. I'm assuming you could probably run a little bit of a screw, drill a little hole in this plastic and put a screw through it to hold it. However, we're going to try this route first. But we went ahead and epoxied this back together. So what you get is you get your little plastic thing here, and the rod will actually go through the backing plate like this, the housing. This will slide on and actually clip onto the arm over here. So that gets clipped on, and then as the float moves up and down, it moves the resistance on the board here and uses the ground through the rod, through the brass here, and then this would be your signal wire to the sending unit up to the gauge of the truck. So if you have a sporadic fuel gauge all of a sudden with no rhyme or reason as to why it started acting up, this is one of the culprits. Now this is a new one for me. I haven't ran across this yet until today when I pulled this one apart and it was falling apart, and I had pulled the one out of the Arizona truck and it had fallen apart. So basically, I tore this thing apart, found out that clip was dislocated from itself, basically, and it was not making contact inside the board. It was actually rubbing on the plastic. It was actually rubbing on the plastic. We'll use this as a little pointer here, outside of the resistance, and it was actually rubbing on the plastic outside and not giving me any resistance until it got down to the board down here, where there was actually pieces and parts of the resistance board way out there. It was giving me an empty signal. But that was the only way it would go to empty, was whenever it was all the way empty. And there's probably maybe a ½ inch of fuel in the bottom of this tank, and that's when I started getting a fuel reading. So that's a problem that you can come across with these fuel sending units. A lot of the times what I've actually done is this board gets all corroded and nasty from bad fuel, or sticky from old fuel, and I've actually cleaned these up and put them back together and had them work. So that's something that you can do instead of buying a new sending unit. Ford one is somewhere in the neighborhood of 70 to 170, depending on which one you need. So, I mean, these aren't cheap. These stupid little sending units are not cheap, which I don't understand why they're so much money. But the aftermarket ones are hit and miss. And, if you want just a sender, you're going to pay almost as much as it is to replace the whole unit, which is terrible. But if you have a diesel truck, then you're kind of stuck with that unless you buy a whole gasoline unit and just buy it for the sending unit and tear it apart. But this is the diesel sending unit here. This is how they all look for the most part, depending on your tank. So this one's a 23-gallon plastic. I replaced the boot on it a couple years ago when I did the sensor here. So this is your 23-gallon one. It's very, very different from the 16, 19-gallon ones, even the plastic rear ones. So you can see it goes straight down in the tank. So it's completely different than all the other ones. So if you're trying to put a plastic tank in your truck, you absolutely need the sender for it. And then it uses a plastic ring as well. So we're going to go ahead and do a little diagnostic with this and try to show you how you can actually check your fuel sending unit. So we have a meter here. It is set to resistance. And what I like to do is I like to put the negative side with an alligator clip, and then I can clip it right onto the sending unit here. And then you want to take your other side of your meter, so this will be the positive side of the meter, and you want to place it on your sending unit wire. And then you can run it through the range. And you can see on the meter there that the range is going up and up and up as we get full. I know for a fact, or obviously low resistance on empty and high resistance on full. So at any point in time, if you go through this range, if you get an OL or an infinite reading, you're going to have a bad sender. So that would be OL or infinite on this meter. Now you can get through this range and catch that infinite every so often, as long as it's not a big dead spot or it's always constant. Basically what it is as you're going through the range, it's just not picking it up right away. So, I mean, this thing is constantly moving in the tank, so it's going to be buffered for the gauge. So it's got a resistance in it at the gauge to allow for that buffer. However, if you go and do your check on your sender here and you end up getting infinite anywhere through this range here, then you know that you have a problem. If you get infinite all of the time, there's something definitely wrong inside your sender. So you can tear it apart and either clean it like we did with other ones here. We cleaned these up before and just basically want to get all the material off of this board and get it clean. You don't want to really go hog wild with it with something very, very abrasive, but I'll use a little bit of brake clean and maybe like a nylon brush and scrub it really, really well, get it nice and clean. Or you could have where your contact here has come off of the plastic ride or slide or whatever you want to call it. And I've also had it where these contacts, so there's two little dots here on each end of the brass, and then on the contact here, I've actually had it where they've gotten gummed up and dirty, and I took a little piece of Scotch-Brite and just cleaned them up, or a little bit of a wire brush and cleaned them up and put it all back together, and it's actually worked. So these are some of the problems you can run into with your fuel sending units. So I'm hoping that this will help you guys out in trying to diagnose a sending unit issue instead of just throwing parts at it. But you can go ahead and check your resistance through the plug. However, the problem is there's 4 pins in these plugs. However, the diesel ones only use 2. Your gas trucks will use 4. So 2 would be a pump and 2 are your sender wire. But if you come over here and look, you can see on the diesel unit here that it only uses the single wire and it grounds through the case here. So this last one over here is your ground. So your 2 outside ones here are your sender wire, and then your 2 on the other side would be your pump. Generally, your sender wires are smaller than your pump wires, so you can see that the size difference here between the two. So these 2 opposing ones would be your sender wire. And you can test it through the plug. It's just a little bit more difficult to get to. That way you don't want to drop the tank, but you need to drop the tank to check the actual sender itself and run it through its range. But I highly suggest testing these because they're not getting any easier to find. A lot of the times, you can take a good one that just needs to be cleaned up and throw it away, and it could actually be used. So hopefully this helps you guys out and shows you what to do with your sending units if they're starting to give you problems or issues. So I hope you guys enjoyed this short little video today. And if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, check out my other videos. And once again, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.